Welcome to Bella&Goch. Today we're diving into a tale that began in 2038 on Earth with an ambitious vision. Roberts Space Industries, or RSI for short, founded by the ingeniously inventive Chris Roberts. Inspired by humanity's boundless curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge beyond our planet's cradle. In the 21st century, as overpopulation strained Earth's resources and energy supplies, dwindled amid warfare-induced famine in numerous star systems. Here was where RSI stepped up, not just for survival but progress. Then came 2757, when Ulysses Messer X shattered RSI's world by releasing Encontro Zero-us evidence implicating CEO Aval Jedema of malfeasance, a scandal that threatened not just corporate governance, but the very essence of trust we place our leaders. In the wake of 2757 scandal that exposed RSI CEO Aval Jedema, a once celebrated corporation found itself at society's mercy. The revelations from Ulysses Messer X didn't just tarnish reputations. They sent shockwaves through the entire space community of Star Citizen universe, shaking trust in private enterprises that had fueled interstellar colonization with their daring innovations like quantum drives and modular habitat designs. How could a company built on dreams, once steering humanity beyond Earth's bounds into deep space frontiers, now teeter at the brink of collapse? The Aurora Mk Roman II fleet, a symbolic testament to RSI's engineering prowess with its reliable construction and versatile applications in space operations, stood deserted as questions loomed over every crew member on board. Did these vessels become mere monuments, or would they serve new purposes under the changing tides? The consequences of the Jedema case unfurled like a nebula across different sectors. From legal battles to galactic trade, all eyes turned towards what future governance and contracts would hold for starships plying routes through space highways that RSI had once dominated with its cutlass black freighters, alone in their category of rugged efficiency but affordable cost-effectiveness. A balance between durability and economy. Could the galaxy's economic engineers devise strategies to rebuild? Or would this scandal lead humanity down a dark path where corporate integrity was lost amidst ambition? Meanwhile, on terraforming World Vesta, which had been RSI's pride with their Zeus spacecraft as key players in resource transportation, a lifeline for Mars terraformers fighting the Second Teveran War's scars and population pressure back home, projects ground to a halt. It was not just about money anymore. It was human survival at stake, demanding transparency from corporations that had always been seen as stewards of progress. But where do we go from here? When a corporation that built dreams into reality faces such turmoil, the question isn't just who stands firm. It's about how an entire universe, a collective of systems like Hurston Dynamics and Micro, tech with their own ambitions for industrial expansion, can rally together to not only mend fences, but build a more accountable future ahead where trust, once lost in mere seconds, is earned through years of relentless effort. The Cosmic Synthesis Initiative, a collaborative project between rival firms and terraformers aimed at developing transparent supply chains using the most advanced RSI technology under ethical governance, was just one spark that promised a rekindling of confidence in space's next wave, where every ship's berth is as much about creating life-supporting environments on distant planets like Mars or moons, such as lunar Roman II orbiting Phobos, those silent witnesses to RSI's falter and the universe's resolve. After all, isn't it in our resilience that we find not just salvation, but redemption? In the year following Mayason expose in 2758, a scandal that threatened to unravel RSI's credibility and shake its core foundations, we witnessed a corporation not just clawing through adversity, but doing so with grit, facing allegations of embezzlement by CEO Aval Jedema during the Mars tragedy era, a time when human lives were lost on Martian soil due to resource transport failures that RSI's technology was originally designed for mitigation. RSI emerged not just intact, but resilient, It stood as a testament to their commitment and resolve, an UNWA zero-B serving beacon of industry amidst chaos. As the dust settled from those dark days of 2758, the year RSI's reputation hung in a delicate balance on the precipice between downfall and renewal. Yet, here they stood, launching their fleet's comeback with ships like Aurora Mk Roman II at the forefront. These vessels not only represented commercial success, but also embodied innovation beyond scandal-tainted shadows, forging a narrative of progress amidst uncertainty. RSI's role in future space colonization and terraforming efforts beyond Mars tragedy. Following the shockwaves of Mayason expose in 2758, where allegations against CEO Aval Jetimer rocked RSI to its core, what became a defining moment for humanity's space ambitions. It was here that Roberts Space Industries found itself at an inflection point, with over 10% of their workforce having taken early retirement due to the scandal and facing legal battles stretching into years with uncertain outcomes. RSI knew it had a mountain ahead, yet in this crucible of crisis emerged a corporation determined not just to survive, but pioneer anew. In what ways did this setback shape RSI's economic strategies? Despite the immediate impact on their market share, falling by an estimated quarter within 6 months post-expose, Roberts Space Industries leveraged its robust pipeline of upcoming projects, including advances in spacecraft design and contributions to terraforming Mars. They secured contracts with multiple factions across various systems, the advocacy for law enforcement vessels like the Aurora Mk Roman II. Pyro's bounty hunters commissioned a fleet of modified Constellation Andromeda craft, vital assets in their legal endeavors and survival tactics. Notably, by Q4 2759, RSI had seen an upward trend, with contract renewals surpassing pre-scandal levels. Here we observe not just a rebound, but an evolution towards diversification that speaks to the resilience inherent in human ingenuity and determination. How did the Terraforming Corps, spearheaded by RSI's advanced development team, alter humanity's relationship with Mars after their catastrophic loss at Mars tragedy? The year following, they launched Project Red Haven, a bold initiative that saw over 50% of Martian terrain successfully transformed into habitable landscapes. With the introduction of atmospheric processors and geoengineering vessels like the Starship RSI Argonaut I from Stardust Systems Corporation, SDC, humanity's footprint began to press beyond Earth's orbit, making Mars not just a distant dream, but an expanding home for many. This was no mere commercial venture. It stood as emblematic of hope, a testament that even the deepest scars from our past can be used to pave ways towards future prosperity. Herein lay RSI's undeniable contribution not just in repair, but progress, the very notion of a second home amongst stars. This is where dreamers and doers unite under Roberts Space Industries' banner, not as mere settlers or exploiters, rather pioneers on the cusp of interstellar legacy. On December 14th of that fateful year in 2758, the very foundation upon which Roberts Space Industries stood was shaken, revealing a tangled web of embezzlement within its walls. CEO Aval Jetima's fall from grace sent shockwaves through not just RSI, but across all major corporate sectors. Project Red Haven, their bold initiative post-Mayason expose. It was more than just a corporate comeback. It represented humanity's relentless spirit, the drive to heal and rebuild after disaster. 10 years since that tragic day, the Terraforming Corps has become more than a division. It's now Mars' first breath of fresh air. Here they stand, engineers dedicated to restoring life on an erstwhile desolate planet. RSI is not just surviving, but thriving in this new chapter. 20 years after the Mayason expose, a pivotal moment in space industry history. RSI's comeback, Project Red Haven, an ambitious initiative to terraform Mars. The Terraforming Corps, engineers as saviors, their workforce now dedicated to making red dust green again. In the wake of Mayason Expose, where once stood titans of industry now lingered shadows. Robert Space Industries, RSI, their reputation tarnished by allegations against CEO Aval Jedema and a massive loss in market share to competitors like Advocate Dynamics. How did they pivot so rapidly? Amidst this chaos, RSI's engineers didn't just stand idly. Instead of sinking into despair or resigning their creative prowess for the sake of corporate survival. The day after Mayason Expose, amidst a sea of uncertainty and legal battles that continued to unfold like the never-ending maelstroms outside their planetary bases, RSI unveiled Project Red Haven. Here was more than just corporate resilience, it symbolized hope. What could this project possibly entail, given Earth's dire needs for space colonization and sustainable living? Picture the Aurora MK Roman II cargo ship being repurposed into a pioneering terraforming vessel. RSI had taken their first concrete steps towards redeemability. As we cast our eyes back a decade since Mayason Expose, what monumental progress has the Terraforming Corps, under RSI's guidance, achieved? The once barren Mars is now an emerging biosphere with life forms flourishing beneath their domes. But how did they accomplish this feat so rapidly, in just a handful of years starting from Project Red Haven and beyond? It wasn't without cost or tragedy, but here was RSI not merely surviving, thriving amidst the stars. In the vastness of space, where stars are born and galaxies intertwine like cosmic ballet dancers on an infinite stage, there exists a silent guardian, the Custodians. These dedicated beings hold not just weapons, but reverence for every astral entity they encounter. In the vastness where guardians hold not just weapons, but reverence for life, we find Robert Space Industries, RSI, at a crossroads. 10 years ago, Mayason Expose unveiled damning evidence of corporate mismanagement and embezzlement that shook industries to their core. But here they stand, engineers dedicated to restoring life. On Mayason Expose, the dust hadn't settled when RSI announced their most ambitious project yet, Project Red Haven. It wasn't just a corporate comeback. It represented humanity reaching out towards Mars with dreams of habitation and survival. Here was more than just corporate resilience. It symbolized a new era. The day after Mayason Expose, amidst uncertainty and skepticism, RSI's engineers launched Operation Green Dawn, a bold initiative aimed at terraforming Mars into an Earth-like environment. A year in would have seemed impossible, but within just 2 years, the once barren red planet was teeming with life under humanity's stewardship. Just 2 days after Mayason Expose, when the dust had barely settled in Earth's capital and across RSI headquarters alike, what were they planning? It was then that a team of visionaries at Robert Space Industries huddled over blueprint designs not for destruction, but rebirth. Their ambitious Operation Green Dawn aimed to deploy cutting-edge atmospheric processors onto Mars, with the first set scheduled for dispatch on June 1st. On Earth, as the Mayason dust settled among cynicism about space industry's future, was RSI merely biding its time? Far from it. From June to July's close, their engineers and scientists worked in unison like a well-oiled phalanx of Da Vinci automatons, not just restoring but reinventing Mars for human habitation. Each day brought them closer to launch window. Launch day, June 1st. The air was electric, not just from the quantum drives, but also hope itself, as RSI's Valkyrie dropship bore down on Mars coordinates with its precious cargo of life-altering technology strapped beneath decks. As it pierced Martian atmosphere and touched ground first at Meadowlands Field, 3 engineers cheered. Here was not just a delivery, but the seeds for tomorrow's biosphere. On June 1st, the day marked both an end and the beginning. Launch Pad Alpha at RSI's Mars base hummed, not just from quantum drives, but also of palpable human hope as Valkyrie dropship made its descent into Martian soil with salvaged cargo meant to resurrect a dead planet under Operation Green Dawn, a mission born out of the chaos unleashed by Mayason Expose. Here, amidst engineers and scientists who refused to let doubt extinguish their dreams, for humanity's future among these alien sands. As the hatches opened after precisely 7 minutes, exactly as planned despite skeptics' doubts following Mason expose. In those first moments inside, heart skipped a beat when Dr. Evelyn Chu presented her analysis. Precious water ice was indeed recoverable in significant quantities beneath Mars' parched surface. RSI not only salvaged the dream of terraforming, but solidified their pivotal role within it. This wasn't just corporate resilience, Bella&Goch viewers. This moment underscored a profound truth. Roberts Space Industries had become an emblem for hope in humanity's reach beyond Earth. On Earth's home front, as operations on Mars gained groundbreaking momentum, RSI's engineers labored not just in shifts, but shared purpose, their camaraderie mirroring the solid foundations of a corporate structure that had been questioned and critiqued publicly after Mason expose, yet now stood resilient before us. The epitome of human ingenuity rising like Mars' own Olympus Mons. RSI's strategic pivot from defense contractor to savior for mankind, transforming their role in space colonization, was not just a corporate comeback. It represented the pinnacle moment when industry meets innovation. Roberts Space Industries became more than its predecessors and competitors. The Valkyrie, dropship's first successful extraction of Martian soil, integrated with Earth-originated bacteria capable to kickstart an atmospheric process aimed at terraforming, the Crimson Planet began. Their ambition not just restored, but flourished under immense pressure and public scrutiny. Incorporated in an era where space travel was a dream for few, Chris Roberts founded what would become the cornerstone of humanity's interstellar aspirations. Roberts Space Industries. Established in 2038, amidst economic turmoil and societal upheaval on Earth, this pioneering corporation aimed not just to survive, but thrive beyond its time. Incorporated during a time when space travel remained beyond reach for most, Chris Roberts founded what we now know as Roberts Space Industries in 2038, a date marking not just the birth of an enterprise, but humanity's first significant stride towards interstellar exploration. This corporation quickly made its presence felt with a breakthrough product, an efficient battery converter, which paved the way for wider acceptance and investment in spacefaring technology among nations grappling with earthly crises like overpopulation and resource scarcity, issues that were becoming increasingly untenable. By 2043, RSI had not only developed this life-changing converter, but also ventured into providing sustainable solutions for water purification systems to other pressing needs, such as energy networks, and even cricket farming initiatives designed to bolster food supplies in resource-scarce regions of the world. It was within these efforts that RSI's influence expanded beyond mere technological innovation, positioning itself at the very heart of a transformative project, terraforming Mars into habitable terrain for future generations, an endeavor fraught with challenges yet marked by determination and visionary thinking in equal measure. The decision to embark on this grand undertaking would prove revolutionary, as it aimed not just at altering the Martian landscape, but also offered a glimmer of hope, suggesting that humanity could indeed extend its reach beyond Earth's confines into becoming an interplanetary species by harnessing RSI's groundbreaking quantum drive technology. This venture came with great risk and immense responsibility, culminating in the Mars tragedy, which shook global confidence, but also galvanized efforts towards a future where space is not just viewed as vast emptiness, but rather as an arena of human potential to be realized through ingenuity, like that displayed by RSI. With the dire environmental crises on Earth demanding immediate action, in partnership with various nations, RSI embarked upon a daring venture. They spearheaded Mars terraforming efforts, a project that would later be hailed as humanity's greatest leap forward. The Messer era, corporate downfall and rise, courtroom scenes unfold. In 2654, RSI faced its darkest hour when the Mars tragedy claimed nearly 5,000 lives. This calamity not only shook worldwide faith, but also served as an impetus for corporate transformation under CEO Gedima's leadership. RSI headquarters on Earth, post-Mars tragedy anniversary year 1. RSI CEO office, years after the Mars tragedy. Investigations in Tojdal and reformative measures in progress. RSI laboratory on Earth, engineers working tirelessly to refine the Zeus craft and beyond. RSI laboratory on Earth, present day. The birthplace of innovation where RSI's relentless pursuit for cosmic breakthroughs started, transitioning from their Earth laboratory. The aftermath following a harrowing event known as Mars tragedy, leading to an ethical examination at RSI. On this day marking 5 decades since Earth's Martian calamity, we stand amidst echoes of tragedy within the walls that once thrived with innovation. But how did a company like Roberts Space Industries emerge from such ashes? Let us venture into its tale. As we delve deeper into Roberts Space Industries' storied past, since its establishment in 2038 by Chris Roberts himself, one cannot help but marvel at their groundbreaking impact on humanity's interstellar aspirations. The company swiftly rose to prominence with the release of a hyper-efficient battery converter for civilian vehicles just 3 years post-foundation, an innovation that energized Earth's efforts against its overpopulation crisis and resource scarcity in 2043. Their contributions didn't stop there. They ventured into sustainable agriculture, even initiating cricket farming to supplement food supplies during those trying times on our blue planet. When the Mars tragedy struck, an event that claimed countless lives and shattered hopes for a swift colonization of the red planet in 2056, RSI stood resilient, leveraging their expertise from Earth's own dire challenges to drive forward with an unwavering determination. This resolve was pivotal when they developed the quantum drive by incorporating advanced technologies that ultimately led humanity towards a new era of galactic expansion in 2560. A date now etched into our shared history as we stand here on Earth, witnesses to RSI's laboratory operations today. Today's bustling hub not only showcases the fruits of their relentless work, but also serves as a beacon for future endeavors in space exploration and survival. A true testament that even from tragedy, progress can emerge under Roberts Space Industries' guidance. As we delve deeper into Roberts Space Industries' storied past, since its establishment in 2038 by Chris Roberts himself, one cannot help but marvel at their groundbreaking impact on humanity's interstellar aspirations. The company swiftly rose to prominence with the release of a hyper-efficient battery converter for civilian vehicles just 3 years post-foundation, an innovation that energized Earth's efforts against its overpopulation crisis and resource scarcity in 2043. Their contributions didn't stop there. They ventured into sustainable agriculture, even initiating cricket farming to supplement food supplies during those trying times on our blue planet. When the Mars tragedy struck, an event that claimed countless lives and shattered hopes for a swift colonization of the red planet in 2056, RSI stood resilient, leveraging their expertise from Earth's own dire challenges to drive forward with an unwavering determination. This resolve was pivotal when they developed the quantum drive by incorporating advanced technologies that ultimately led humanity towards a new era of galactic expansion in 2560. A date now etched into our shared history as we stand here on Earth, witnesses to RSI's laboratory operations today. Today's bustling hub not only showcases the fruits of their relentless work, but also serves as a beacon for future endeavors in space exploration and survival. A true testament that even from tragedy, progress can emerge under Roberts Space Industries' guidance. As we delve deeper into Roberts Space Industries' storied past, since its establishment in 2038 by Chris Roberts himself, one cannot help but marvel at their groundbreaking impact on humanity's interstellar aspirations. The company swiftly rose to prominence with the release of a hyper-efficient battery converter for civilian vehicles just 3 years post-foundation, an innovation that energized Earth's efforts against its overpopulation crisis and resource scarcity in 2043. Their contributions didn't stop there. They ventured into sustainable agriculture, even initiating cricket farming to supplement food supplies during those trying times on our blue planet. When the Mars tragedy struck, an event that claimed countless lives and shattered hopes for a swift colonization of the red planet in 2056, RSI stood resilient, leveraging their expertise from Earth's own dire challenges to drive forward with an unwavering determination. This resolve was pivotal when they developed the quantum drive by incorporating advanced technologies that ultimately led humanity towards a new era of galactic expansion in 2560. A date now etched into our shared history as we stand here on Earth, witnesses to RSI's laboratory operations today. Today's bustling hub not only showcases the fruits of their relentless work, but also serves as a beacon for future endeavors in space exploration and survival. A true testament that even from tragedy, progress can emerge under Robert's Space Industries' guidance. RSI Laboratory on Earth present-day operations, a vibrant hub of innovation after the Mars tragedy, bustling with workers. Star Citizen style, sci-fi documentary. RSI CEO Office Remembrance Ceremony, Sommer, marking 5 decades since the Mars tragedy. In 2038, on an overcrowded but hopeful planet, Mars suffered from severe energy deficits. Chris Roberts saw potential beyond Earth's horizon. The world grappled with resource scarcity. A crisis that beckoned for innovation and ingenuity was at its peak as humanity teetered between survival and oblivion. Roberts Space Industries, or RSI, was founded in 2038 by Chris Roberts. This enterprise started with the goal of not just surviving, but thriving, a beacon for humanity's next chapter beyond Earth. In the year of our Lord 2038, Chris Roberts laid down the cornerstone for what would become a beacon in humanity's quest beyond Earth, Roberts Space Industries, RSI. The founding was not merely an act, but rather a response to dire circumstances, with overpopulation and resource scarcities plaguing our home planet. RSI emerged as the embodiment of hope, pioneering advancements like their ground-breaking hyper-efficient battery converter, which revolutionized transportation on Earth before even venturing into space exploration. By 2043 alone, they had not only introduced this pivotal device, but also other innovations such as water purification systems and sustainable cricket farming methods, each a testament to their commitment to both environmental stewardship and human welfare on Earth. Fast forward decades later, RSI's quantum drive, developed over years of unwavering dedication since those groundbreaking days in 2038, facilitated the colonization efforts aimed at Mars, a mission with roots deeply entwined within humanity's enduring aspiration to thrive beyond our terrestrial bounds. However, even titans like RSI are not immune to turmoil. This was starkly revealed when Ulysses Messer X's investigation into corporate misconduct led back in time all the way during 2756 and brought down its CEO Gedima amidst a crisis following an event that forever changed RSI. The Mars tragedy, with nearly 5,000 lives lost, not only shook our collective conscience, but also underscored the immense responsibilities borne by those who tread in space, a sobering reminder of both human fallibility and resilience as we continue to reach for new worlds. Word count, 158. In response to a calamity that cost nearly 5,000 lives, the Mars tragedy, and the subsequent inquiry into corporate accountability forged by Ulysses Messer X. His revelations of embezzlement rocked Roberts Space Industries' very foundations, forcing CEO Gedima out in 2756. From corporate scandal to space exploration, Roberts Space Industries stood at a crossroads. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was evolution and redemption for humanity as they embraced terraforming Mars. Amidst turbulent times, following Anthony Tanaka's tragic demise in the Mars tragedy, Gedima faced an unprecedented crisis. The revelation of embezzlement had shocked not just Earth, but spanned across all inhabited planets under RSI's influence on May 17th, year 2764, a date now synonymous with corporate betrayal in galactic history. In the year of our Lord 2764, just 2 years following Anthony Tanaka's heartrending demise, during what came to be known as the Mars tragedy on May 17th, a date now etched into galactic memory for its profound corporate betrayal and loss. The revelation of such a grave act shook not only Earth, but every colony under RSI's expansive wing, forcing them to reassess the integrity within their ranks. Yet from this calamity arose an unparalleled opportunity. It was here in these very sands that engineers and scientists at Mars Colony began a Herculean effort to repurpose failed technologies into stepping stones for innovation, driving RSI's mission ever forward with relentless determination. The transformation of the Astro Development Division lab on Mars was nothing short of remarkable. It became an oasis where once defeated machinery now breathed new life as they birthed pioneering solutions vital to humanity's cosmic voyage. A fitting tribute and beacon for survival in this brave, alien world. As we venture beyond Earth's atmosphere into this era of uncharted possibilities, RSI has embarked on a daring mission. Since their pivot in 2764, the Roberts Space Industries have realigned with UPE to develop Mars habitats and life support systems using technology derived from that very disaster site where our lost youth once gazed at stars. In the vast desolation of Martian plains stands a bustling research facility under one roof, Roberts Space Industries, RSI. Here, amidst cold metal structures that pierce through scarlet dust clouds and overlook Olympus Mons from their lofty perch on Mars' surface, Dr. Alexei Petrov pores meticulously at his workstation in the lab. The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Petrov announces over the intercom system as he adjusts his glasses for a groundbreaking presentation on our Mars Colonization Act, MACA. We've not only secured funding, but also international cooperation to establish human outposts beyond Earth. Inside Roberts Space Industries' boardroom in the year 2764, where once groundbreakers and strategists gathered to deliberate on Earthbound matters, now faced a galactic quandary with Mars as their focal point of concern. The air was charged not only by anticipation, but also by recent developments that threatened this delicate balance between human aspiration and the stark realities outside our atmosphere. It was here, amidst an assembly room where once decisions on Earth's sustainability were made with a hopeful vision for mankind's future in space, now confronted with documents casting long shadows over their interplanetary dreams, a reality far removed from the founding year of 2038. The Roberts Space Industries fleet presented not just as an emblem of human ingenuity, but also a beacon for survival amidst cosmic adversities, which had once brought together governments and corporations to terraform Mars into habitable ground, a task that was monumental in scope from the very conception. The Aurora MK Roman II stood among them as silent witnesses of what could have been humanity's first steps towards a multiplanetary existence, following Roberts' original vision for RSI and its pivotal role since establishing efficient solutions back on Earth to tackle overpopulation crises, a company that emerged from the very essence of Chris Roberts' enterprising spirit. The decision now rested heavily upon these executives as they beheld their course alter indefinitely, challenged by revelations with implications reaching far beyond any crisis management on Earth's surface to possibly redefine humanity itself within an interstellar framework. This critical juncture beckoned not just a strategic shift, but also the test of resilience and adaptability that had been etched into RSI's RSI's legacy since its inception, when they first unveiled their hyper-efficient battery converter to civilian vehicles. A pioneering feat leading up to this momentous era where every choice bore cosmic weight. In a moment of unprecedented gravity within Roberts Space Industries' Boardroom in Earth year 2764, executives grapple with revelations that threaten to upend their galactic ambitions and the very fabric of human expansion beyond our planetary cradle. The Aurora MK Roman II stands as a silent testament amidst this turmoil, a symbol not just for Chris Roberts' vision, but also an emblem of resilience in face of cosmic challenges that have steered RSI since its groundbreaking incorporation over 3 centuries prior, with the introduction of their quantum drive leading to galaxy-wide colonization efforts, now confronted by documents whose contents could redefine not just immediate strategies, but also humanity's interstellar trajectory. A testament given on March 2956 and rooted in RSI's legacy that began with a mere battery converter for earthbound vehicles. The decisions made here will ripple across time. The balance between dreaming big and grappling with harsh realities is precarious. It was during these discussions where Chris Roberts' enterprising spirit would be put to its sternest test as they stood at a crossroads that could alter the course of human progress in space, ever since their pivotal role alongside other global entities on terraforming Mars. A monumental task set against overpopulation back home. The gravity within these walls is palpable. Every word spoken here carries weight beyond RSI's immediate concerns and speaks to the future of humanity as a multi-planetary species, anchored by decisions that must reconcile with both their earthly origins and cosmic destiny ahead. Roberts Space Industries Headquarters year 2764, post-revelation crisis. The morning of March the 25th, on Earth's 32nd orbit around Mars. Here at Roberts Space Industries Headquarters in 2764, stands Dr. Alexei Petrov before a sea of executives whose faces bore expressions as complex and multifaceted as black holes. As we stand here today at RSI headquarters on Mars after 2764 turbulent upheaval, can you even fathom what this scandal unveiled about corporate malfeasance within the very walls where innovation once thrived? What does it say when a boy's refusal to work becomes an anchor for downfall and redemption? Amidst this maelstrom of facts, figures that paint a bleak picture, can we truly understand how deeply seated corruption ran through an institution once lauded as pioneers in space exploration? Let us witness Dr. Petrov examining records, his eyes scanning the evidence like asteroids across star-studded skies. In the year 2749, at Roberts Space Industries, RSI, as we gaze upon these cold metal edifices sprawling across Mars' rust-colored surface, do you feel a pang of guilt? Here stands our protagonist Alexei Petrov amidst innovation and corporate deception. How can an institution once hailed for its technological triumphs now be shackled by the chains of scandal? He muses to himself as his gaze sweeps over Mars' barren landscape, a silent witness to RSI's dark past. Here we are in the year 2749, on Mars' Base Alpha control room, where secrets of unparalleled magnitude come to light. The place hums with an urgent energy as Alexei Petrov scours over his desk, littered with blueprint designs and encrypted files. What's a young engineer like him doing rummaging through confidential data? That, my audience, is the story that unraveled before us today, a tale of deceit nestling within corporate corridors. Unknown location. In the 2950th year of our solar system, when Earth was on its knees due to a resource-driven conflict that nearly ended humanity's progress, Roberts Space Industries, RSI, led by pioneering entrepreneur Chris Robertson in those dire times, emerged as an unexpected savior. In the year 2043, when Earth's resources were dwindling rapidly and space colonization seemed a distant dream, RSI revolutionized resource extraction with their groundbreaking terraforming module, setting in motion humanity's leap towards interstellar ambition. Fast forward to the turn of a new era in Earth's history. Here's where RSI truly solidified its legacy as it unveiled the first fully self-sufficient space habitat, Celestes Prime, setting up humankind on Mars. In the year of our solar system's bicentennial celebration, and Earth faces its darkest era, Alexei Petrov stands at the helm in Mars Base Alpha control room. Here we are witnessing not just a revolution, but an odyssey that charts humanity's relentless pursuit of survival and prosperity amongst stars. Today marks the culmination of years, or decades, since Roberts Space Industries, RSI, unveiled Celestes Prime, the first fully self-sustained space habitat. But does this monumental achievement in interplanetary colonization come at a cost? When Alexei Petrov discovered encrypted files revealing potential corporate misconduct, our hero found himself entangled with not just his fate, but the very future of humanity's cosmic dream. What truth does the encrypted file held by Petrov divulge? The scandal involving Roberts Space Industries, RSI, once a beacon for human advancement, now casts long shadows upon its legacy. A corporation whose strides in space colonization could potentially dictate mankind's destiny on new worlds. On this desolate digital sea of secrets, our protagonist Alexei Petrov sifts through encrypted files. The hum and glow of RSI's servers create a haunting symphony that echoes in the confines of his mind, each click, each swipe revealing more than he bargained for. Can you imagine, Alexei? Here he is at 2756 AD on the floating slum district of Phobos 8. His heart races as each byte unveils a shocking conspiracy within RSI, a company that once symbolized human progress, but now stands accused in one among many shady corporate dealings. He doesn't realize yet how his discovery could potentially alter the balance between space factions, not only on Phobos 8 and earthly grounds. Underneath Phantom City's shadowy neon sky, Alexei Petrov crosses paths with insurgent groups. They whisper in hushed tones of a scandal so massive it threatens the very fabric holding their interplanetary society together. Roberts Space Industries and its questionable handling. Who would have thought that RSI's roots ran deep, seeding this betrayal? Alexei reflectively questions himself as he unearthed a trail of encrypted files pointing towards the Mars Terraform initiative. But who really had their hands in such deceptive plays against humanity? In 2758 AD, under an artificially lit courtroom where the holographic screens cast long shadows over solemn faces, here stands Alexei Petrov, his silhouette stark against the flickering light, a beacon of truth in our tale that has unfolded across decades. Alexei Petrov, I ask while tapping on a holoscreen, you've exposed the labyrinths that once seemed invulnerable to human ambition and greed. How does it feel being part of such an earth-shattering event in corporate history? It's like watching a supernova collapse, but the remnant will be justice, Alexei responded firmly. The truth about RSI and its manipulation of data, it was never meant to benefit humanity alone. Profits were always at the core.